Today, I'm Igor Bessières, a medical physicist working in Dijon in France, and today I'm going to share my experience with MapRT. This is a work I performed with my colleagues Mathieu Gonneau and Elias Achag. So first I will introduce the context, the clinical context of this study. Okay. And I will explain again how does MapRT work. So we already had a great presentation yesterday on this topic. And I will share the results of our accuracy evaluation of MapRT and also give some numbers of our first months of clinical experience of MapRT. So I come from France, from Dijon. So Dijon is a small city between Paris and Lyon, well known for his mustard, but also known for his hospital, so the Centre Georges-François Leclerc, who is an hospital dedicated to cancer treatment. We are treating more than 2,000 patients per year by radiation therapy. We are treating with more than 90% of our treatment are modulated treatment, MapRT or VMAT, and almost 1/3 of the treatment are SGRT. We have 5 Linux, 2 Alcyons, and 1 TrueBeam and 1 TrueBeam STX, all equipped with a LineRT. And we also have an MR-Linac, the Meridian from ViewRay. So we are a LineRT user since 2020 and MapRT users since September 2023. So the clinical context of this study is the fact that this is probably also the context for everybody here in this room. The fact is that during the last year, we had a sharp increase in indication for SBRT and re-radiations. So it increased the complexity of the planning, and with more organoids and also more complicated dose constraint we have to achieve. And also associated to that, we have more non-coplanar beam configurations. So it increased the risk of undeliverable plan by increasing also the risk of collision. So to do that, we have to perform dry runs and test our plan. So you see here 2 videos of example of non-coplanar treatment. The first one on the left side is the hippocampal sparing wall brain radiotherapy, and on the left side you have a lung tumor we treated close to the trachea, and we use the non-coplanar beam in order to achieve the dose constraints. So this is a typical example we use every day. What are the different collisions we can have? So on one side, you have the LINAC and all the imaging system on board. And on the other side, you have the treatment coach, the immobilization device, and of course the patient. So we want to avoid this kind of situation. And to do so, the today practices is to perform dry runs, either with the patient or without the patient, in order to make sure that we avoid all the collision risk. But in the same time, we increase the LINAC occupancy and also the RTT or physicist workload, and of course the patient time. So the solution is to have a prediction tool, a collision prediction tool, with a limited additional workload, and this is the first purpose of MapRT. So how does MapRT work? So as we already saw yesterday, we have 2 additional lateral cameras at the CT scan, on the left and the right side of the patient. And associated to that, we have 1 acquisition software that make possible the 3D surface acquisition of the patient and the immobilization devices. And we also have an analysis software, so which simulates the interaction between the patient and the LINAC. So let's go deeper into the analysis software. So first, we have this 3D surface of the patient that is required at the scan. And we can register it with the model of a LINAC. Here you have a TrueBeam. And we can simulate the interaction between the LINAC and the patient by simulating the rotation of the couch and the gantry. So this is the full interface of the analysis software. So again, on the right side, we have this 3D visualization. And at the center, we have the so-called clearance map showing in the y-axis, we have the gantry angle, and in x-axis, we have the couch angle. And as you can see, you have the red area who has no-go zone, collision zone. And you can visualize it on the 3D display on the right side. So we can also adjust the isocenter position or shift the couch. And what is also important is that we can add buffer on the patient or on the couch in order to take into account all the uncertainties. So at these steps, we do not have any plan, but you can upload a plan like this and visualize in yellow all the trajectories of the arcs. So in this case, we have 3 arcs, 2 arcs, the 2 first arcs that are not colliding, and the third one who is colliding, as you can see, just there. So how do we use the system in Dijon? So we have kind of a standard workflow. The first one, so the standard workflow, we first acquired the CT scan during the simulation, and directly after this acquisition, we make the 3D surface acquisition of the patient and in treatment position, and we go further to the delineation and the treatment planning. And since we have done the planning, we test the plan into the analysis software. If we have a collision, we adjust the beam configuration, and we go we retest it in order to see if we have no collision anymore. And after, we can go to the treatment validation. But we also have what we call an alternative workflow. The idea is first to do the surface acquisition without doing the CT scan and directly analyze this surface into the MapRT software by approximately positioning an isocenter and just analyzing the clearance map in order to make sure that we have acceptable clearance map to have the best beam configuration for the treatment. If not, we can adjust even the patient setup with adjust the immobilization device or just the positioning of the patient in order to improve the quality of the clearance map and retest and redo the surface acquisition and re-analyze it in the MapRT software. And then when the setup is satisfying, we can go to the CT acquisition and start the treatment planning. And then we can obviously reloop to the standard workflow. So this alternative workflow is suitable for complex or atypical positioning. We often use it, for instance, for positioning of inferior limbs, or to check the positioning of the arms in VMAT breast treatment or apical lung treatments. So now you probably have a better idea of how does MapRT works, and we can go to the accuracy evaluation of MapRT. So if you remember, on this interface you can adjust the buffer size. So on the patient, but also on the couch. So the idea of our study was to see how accurate and reliable is the collision prediction of MapRT, meaning what buffer size should we choose in order to make sure that 100% of the collision will be well predicted by the system. So for that purpose, we use a simple phantom, as you can see on the picture, and we acquired the surface in 11. So we define 11 isocenter positioning of this phantom, as you can see there. And for each positioning of the phantom, we had a clearance map with a buffer size of 0. And we choose 64 limits positioning on the clearance map, as you can see on like this green point here. And on the LINAC, we fixed the gantry angle, and we try to get to the closest coach limit angle position just before the collision. And we did the same thing for the couch angle by fixing the couch angle and just trying to get the closest gantry position just before the collision. During the same times, we generated and exported a clearance map with different buffer size from 0 to 5 centimeters. And after that, with a homemade script, we just tried to see the agreements between the collision we detected on the machine and each clearance map. Okay? And with this analysis, we could be able to define a safe buffer size to use in clinical. So let's go to the results. So here you can see the blind alt-mat plots of the measurement of this collision versus the prediction of MapRT. What we can see is that we have a global agreement that is acceptable with an average value close to 0, but with a quite large and high standard deviation, meaning that a buffer is required. We cannot use the system with a 0 centimeter buffer size. So by analyzing here, we have a table with all the collision with and the prediction rate according to the buffer size applied on the clearance map. So what you can see is that we have separated all the type of collision, the LINAC with the phantom, the portal imaging system with the couch, the LINAC with the couch, and also the KV imaging system with the couch. And what we can see is that for the KV collision, we never achieved 100% of the prediction of the collision with the system. This was mainly due to the fact that the version of MapRT we used during this study was only one position of the KV imaging system was available, and we didn't know precisely which position, and we couldn't reproduce this position on our LINAC. So we only, in the second step, we only analyzed the other collision, and what we saw is that with a 3 centimeter buffer size, the system is able to predict 100% of the collision. So this was the main result of this study, to fix the buffer size to 3 centimeters to make sure to use safely MapRT. So to go further to our clinical experience, first month of clinical experience with MapRT, we decided, so we use it, this study is based on 11 months period, and we decided to prospectively check all the all the treatment plans that were planned during this period. So meaning that all the treatment techniques were included and were prospectively tested, even coplanar and non-coplanar treatment without any cancer site restrictions. So this represented 900 treatment plans. This was for two true beams. And at this time, we had a buffer size fixed to 2 centimeters based on the Vision RT recommendation because our accuracy study was not finalized yet at this moment. So the results, so over the 900 plan, we had 22 plan representing 2.5% of this plan, for which we could be able to anticipate and avoid the collision thanks to MapRT. For 6 plans, so representing only 0.6% of the plan, the collision were detecting during the dry run or the first session of the treatment. This was mainly due, for one plan, it was due to this limitation of the modeling of the KV imaging system. For another one, it was due to the immobilization device that was too thin and was not well surfaced by the system. And for the 4 other cases, it was due to other sites. Either no 3D surface were acquired at the simulation, or the plan was not tested in MapRT before the medical validation. So excluding this this quite particular situation. No treatment was postponed or cancelled due to the collision when using MapRT. And what is also interesting is to notice that for 165 plans, representing more than 18% of the plan, we could be able to optimize the plan thanks to the clearance map by increasing the range of the arc amplitude or the couch rotation, adjusting the couch rotation, or just moving the isocenter position. So probably we improved our planning thanks to MapRT, not only avoided the collision. So I would like to share two examples of collision we detected thanks to MapRT. The first one is this one. This is interesting because this is a coplanar treatment. And we had the collision of the machine with the elbow and the immobilization device on this system. And the other example is a non-coplanar treatment, so SGRT treatment. And the machine collides the elbow of the patient, even if it is along the body. So, as you can see here, we are treating the brain, but we have a collision there with the arm. So, in this case, we didn't replan the treatment. We only ask to the RTT just to move the arm of the patient during the treatment in order to be able to avoid the collision. So, based on this clinical experience, we think that the system is reliable even with a reduced 2 centimeter wide buffer size. Excluding the 4 cases I detailed due to human insight, only 2 out of the 900 plan encountered a collision. And now the model of the KV imaging system has been improved by Vision RT since last summer. And what is interesting also to share is that for the 22 collisions we identified were for coplanar treatment. So collisions are not only a concern for non-coplanar treatment, and it is important to have in mind that it could benefit also for MapRT could benefit for all the treatments. So what is also important to have in mind is that in our clinics, we are more than 10 years long experience of non-coplanar treatment for intra or extracranial sites. And it probably explains the limited number of collisions we detected, only 22 cases over the 900 plan we tested. And this number would probably be greater for clinics newly starting with non-coplanar treatment. So to conclude, I would like to say that we performed this intrinsic accuracy evaluation of MapRT, and as I told you, for safe use of MapRT, a 3 centimeter size of the buffer according to our accuracy study could be required, but it includes very singular limit position point on the clearance map. And based on our clinical experience, 2 centimeter seems to be enough. So now our beam configuration are really well secured and optimized thanks to MapRT. And the next step is to remove our dry runs. And we are sure that we save a lot of time for the planner, the patient, and the RTT. And what I didn't develop today is the fact that MapRT is not only a collision prediction tool, it really simplifies and makes safer non-coplanar workflow.